Decoding the silent language of nature introduction. Listening to silence in our fast-paced age, silence has become almost exotic. We are accustomed to constant background noise, the hum of cities, the buzzing of cars, the crackle of notifications, the vibration of smartphones. It turns out that if you step away from this noise for a short time and go beyond the city limits, where there are no streetlights and no cars, an amazing feeling of emptiness arises. But this emptiness is illusory. In reality, nature's silence is full of countless signals that can be heard if you know how to listen. The subtle rustle of leaves, a distant bird call, the dull thud of a branch hitting the ground, all of these are wordless messages. And sometimes their meaning is deeper than simple information. The silent language of nature is ancient, universal, and unfortunately, largely forgotten by humans. Just a few centuries ago, people could read the surrounding world, understanding it like a book in which every leaf, shadow, and sound is a sign. Today, most of us pass by these signals almost unnoticed. Understanding this language is not only a path to aesthetic pleasure, but also to practical survival. Language. Without words, we usually associate the word language with human speech, spoken or written. But language is any system of transmitting information. Viewed broadly, the entire world around us is a continuous conversation. Nature does not use words, but it constantly communicates data. Winds change strength and direction, signaling weather. Changes birds vary their songs depending on the season, time of day, and threats. Trees release chemical compounds, warning neighbors about insect attacks. Flowers change petal colors to attract specific polars. It is important to understand. There is no direct addressee. The signals are not intended solely for humans. They create a shared informational environment. And we can perceive it only if we know the grammar of nature. Channels of communication in nature. What? 2.1 Visual signals. The world is full of visual information. Color. Bright colors of insects or frogs warn of toxicity.
Ow.
Muted tones help animals blend into the background. Shape. Wispy clouds often predict worsening weather. Curled leaves signal a lack of moisture, movement. A lizard darting. Before rain, or a swarm of insects in the evening air, these are signals that can be read. To point to acoustic signals, sounds form a separate language. The crunch of snow underfoot indicates temperature. Cold snow is crispier. Birds' morning songs reflect calm weather. While sudden silence signals approaching danger, the wind rustling through. Tree crowns changes from a gentle whisper to a whistle, warning of strength and direction. 2 to 3 chemical signals as smells are the language of chemistry. The scent of cut grass signals plant damage. Flowers emit fragrances to attract specific pollinators. Ant. Pheromones create invisible trail maps leading to food sources. Human experience of translating. Nature. Our ancestors could read nature's signals without instruments. Hunters determined the movement and condition of animals by their tracks. Farmers observed birds' behavior to predict the weather. Polynesian sailors used watercolor, wave, shape, and wind sounds to safely cross oceans. These skills were passed down orally and were vital for survival. The music of wind and earth. Nature has its own melody. Birds, songs, the sound of rain, the roar of the wind, all are forms of communication that can be analyzed. Songbirds. Songs reflect the season and ecosystem condition. The sound of rain and wind indicates precipitation intensity. Gust strength. In storm likelihood, silence between sounds is a signal, hidden. Danger or unusual animal behavior. The scientific field of bioacoustics helps decode these melodies and even predict ecological changes. Senses messages, chemical signals in nature are one of the most hidden but informative channels. Plants release volatile compounds when damaged, warning neighbors of pests. Animals use pheromones for communication, marking territories and attracting mates. The earth itself has scents, wet soil before rain. The characteristic aromas of a sunlit forest, signs of ecosystem changes. The ability to read scents is an ancient skill lost to most modern humans. Ancient translators of nature. Humans have long been part of this dialogue. Indigenous peoples of Siberia, the Amazon, Australia, Africa used nature's signs to predict weather and find food. Medieval European farmers observed bird behavior, plant blooming and cloud shapes. Sailors navigated using water smells, reef colors, and wave sounds, creating a world map without instruments. This knowledge was passed down orally, often through stories and legends. To ensure it was remembered, science and the silent language modern technology expands our understanding of nature. Pathology studies animal behavior and reactions to environmental signals. Bioacoustics records voices of birds, whales, and bats, helping us understand social organization and ecosystem changes. Satellite imagery and ecological monitoring track migrations, forest growth, and glacier melting. Predicting disasters, combining observation with scientific analysis, allows us to decode the silent language more deeply and systematically. Secrets of reading. Becoming a student of nature. To learn to understand nature, slow down. Allow yourself time to notice details. Observe and record. Keep a journal of observations. Compare and analyze. Correlate data with weather, seasons, and moon phases. Learn from tradition holders, indigenous peoples, farmers, and fishers hold living libraries of nature. Through consistent observation, humans become full participants in the dialogue. Warning signs. Nature signals impending threats. Silence among birds signals predators or storms. Unusual animal behavior may precede. Earthquakes, deaths indicate chemical water pollution. These signals are vital for survival and warn of problems. Long before humans detect them, practical benefits. Reading natural signals has many applications. Agriculture. Planning, sowing, and harvesting times. Rescue operations. Predicting avalanches, floods, landslides. Ecology. Assessing ecosystem health and preventing environmental crises. Understanding nature combines aesthetic pleasure with practical utility. Humans in dialogue with the world, we are not just listeners but participants. Every action, deforestation, water pollution, planting a garden, is a phrase in nature's language. Nature responds with climate changes, animal behavior, and plant growth. Human activity has become a powerful voice in this language, and harmony depends on our attentiveness. Conclusion. Turning to listening, the silent language of nature is not a metaphor, but a real stream of information running through the ages. Nature always speaks, even if we do not hear it. Ignoring it risks losing our connection to a world that will feel alien without it. We can learn to listen again. Noticing the rustle of leaves, birdsong, sense of rain in grass, the movement of clouds and flowing water. Paying attention to these signs opens the door to a deeper harmony with the world. Nature has never stopped speaking. The question is whether we are ready to listen.